Hi everybody, we're back. We have a very interesting presentation now from Team Swartz. So I have their team members on stage and I'll be playing their video. I'd like to repeat my request. If you're not speaking, please do mute your microphone. This is the video from Team Swartz.
Yeah, this project is presented by the team Swartz at the Account Aggregator Hackathon, organized in July 2020. So the project aims at mimicking the account aggregator clients, which could be an app on your smartphone. Like the project aims to mimic the account aggregator clients through the interactive voice response technology. So IVR has already been used for bank transactions and is a quite mature technology. So the idea is to do user onboarding to account aggregator system in an assisted mode. We aim to simplify account onboarding for lesser literate population of India. So let's start with the story. Let's say there are two people, Siddhant, who is a bank correspondent, and Ravi, who is a farmer. So we will assume Ravi is not very educated about tech. He doesn't prefer using various online accounts to manage his identity. Um, but he's looking out for a loan. So what happens? Ravi comes to the bank branch and asks Siddhant about loans he can get. So then Siddhant tells him the various schemes and asks him to submit some documents. These documents include his bank accounts, his other bank accounts transaction history for last 1 month. But let's say today is Friday and the bank is closed for next 5 days. That means Ravi has to wait for 5 days and then get his bank statement and transaction history from the other bank and then submit it to this bank branch, to Siddhant. But wait, like Siddhant tells Ravi, why don't you use the account aggregator to share your bank data? You can do this with the account aggregator instantly. So Ravi asks, wow, like how do I do it? So let's see what can be the fundamental pieces of that. Let's say I am Siddhant and then I have this dashboard where I can log in as an admin. So what do I do with this dashboard? I help people like Ravi to get onboarded on account aggregator system. That's the whole point of using it in assisted mode. So I'll create Ravi's ID. Let's say Ravi, and let's append his phone number so that this acts as an ARN number. Let's say the phone number is this. So when I click Banai or create, I'll see it gets registered in my buffer DB. So as I said, we are mimicking the account aggregator itself. There are no APIs provided by the account aggregators to do login and registration without using AA clients. That's why we have to mimic the whole data schema scenario as well. But let's see, it is in buffer mode and not yet registered. So how do Ravi register himself? For that, Ravi uses IVR. What Ravi does is, Ravi goes to this specific IVR, which is owned by the account aggregator itself, and calls it. Let's see how the transaction goes.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
Welcome to Account Aggregator. Please enter 4 digits to set your PIN.
what actually happened there was Ravi calls this number and then it goes like set your PIN so that you can use IVR to mimic your AA client, and then Ravi does that and he sets PIN. You saw that window popping up of FinView FinView account aggregator registration window. That is basically we have to kind of scrape the data to fill in the values in the form, and because they don't provide the API yet. Okay, so we see there's already Ravi is already registered. He is not no longer in the buffer. Okay, so he has set the pin. Let's see what he can do with the account aggregator now.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
Welcome to the Account Aggregator service. Please enter your 4-digit PIN to authenticate. Press 1 to use your checkpoint number. Press 2 to review your pending consent request. Press 3 to review previous consents given. Press 4 to revoke consent. Press 1 to use your check. HDFC Bank wants to access your last 25 SBI Bank transactions. Press 1 to approve or 2 to deny. Consent approved.
Okay, so finally Ravi has approved the consent request, and then he can use the IVR service again in future whenever he wants. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Team Swartz. You have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Yeah.
Nice job. Can you set the stage a little bit for us in terms of why you're solving this or what your vision was?
Yeah, sure. So the idea is because there are people who don't are very good with the mobile phone, various accounts they have, like people like India kind of only use WhatsApp and Facebook for their entertainment, or YouTube mostly, but solving this problem for digital for your digital identity in terms of your financial footprint, it's important to kind of provide a parenting advice to those people via the the bank correspondence and related people. Okay, so that's why we thought of we kind of make a suite of products for this. So we start with the IVA, then we go to the WhatsApp, and then we kind of expand it in terms of so that it becomes very usual for people to get on with this. So it's not a specific app to go and like log in and then check your previous consoles and all, but this is kind of more of providing them with like suitable functionality so that they can do it anytime they want.
Yeah, so Siddhant, my question was, again, I think you answered that a little bit. So you, why did you pick IVR, right? And you're suggesting that you move to OTP and WhatsApp as well in the future. This is one medium that you've started. That's what you're suggesting.
So initially we thought of doing it for like the normal feature phones, but because like we use that value API and it doesn't provide the IVR functionality in Hindi or in any other Indian languages. So the idea is to use the other Indian languages in the IVR itself, so that they can. It's one of the means. Okay, so we didn't go with the WhatsApp because we thought of like feature phones that don't have WhatsApp yet, and it's easier. It might be easier for people to go with this because IVR is being used a lot in like for years. So that's what. Yeah.
So I would like to add, because most of the farmers they are not they are below if they are below poverty line and they want to get loans, they don't really have smartphones with them. So like many of them will have the Nokia I would say 1100 models, and they can use the IVR functionality on them.
Yeah, so Siddhant and Vineet, I think it's a very important problem that you've tried to solve. And it is perhaps one of the most core missions of this AA framework to be able to distribute credit to people who are exactly right, like Ravi. You have tried to create some innovative solutions which don't necessarily rely on people who are digitally very savvy or active,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's very laudable. I have to just understand a little bit more about how this IVR solution interfaces with the whole AA framework in logging the consent and then gathering the data. But even if it doesn't fully do that as per current regulations, it's still a good set of suggestions and ideas,
Yes, sir.
because this would be a more natural way for somebody like Ravi to be able to interact, provided he is able to go to a bank. Or go to a NBFC. Let's assume that part is
Yes, sir.
done. So there was a useful set of innovations that you did.
1 minute left. So,
So, okay. Do you want me to like explain something on this? Or?
Just on that IVR, how is that
Okay,
working?
okay.
A
So
consent
here's the
registration.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the thing. So you have an AA client like an app, so it doesn't expose any APIs for logging and registration. But if account aggregator system provides these APIs to other interfaces as well, like IVR, it can just through the IVR technology, it just connects with the server and through that specific API, and then the transaction goes on. Similarly, it can be done for different apps like WhatsApp. But the problem with WhatsApp and other messaging apps is like other apps can also view your SMS, right? So you must be using any PFM app, then they can view your SMS. So until and unless there is a way to securely provide your PIN to authenticate, we cannot go forward with the WhatsApp and other SMS apps. So IVR with IVR is like, okay, we kind of have this criteria that this account aggregator or aggregators hold current IVR system for this specific use case. This is not for via Geo or via Airtel, but it is handled by those account aggregators.
Yeah. Siddhant, I like the fact that you put a IVR layer on to replace the app, and essentially built an IVR app in a way to replace that. The question is, I mean, of course, you need the local languages and piece, but do you think in an IVR kind of setting, you'll be able to give the user the comfort that they will need to be able to share the data and give fully informed consent?
Like, very good question. The thing is, yes, no one wants to go to the IVR and like go for like 4, 5, 6 layers and do their consent thing. The overall idea was to have more than one environments for users to interact with the account aggregator. Okay, so we start with the IVR, but main concept was we want to give the user a parenting advice on, let's say, some specific FIUs want some specific data and they are not very sure what is that about. Okay, so we want the other people, people who are educated enough to help those people out early on, so that it can be like it can flow with ease later. Yeah.
Cool.
great.
And do
Thank
you
you.
envision that it would be the BCs that would first sort of integrate and deploy this experience?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat the question?
So this would be something that would reach Ravi through the BCs?
Yeah. Through the PCs, do you mean they will be having their phone, right? So they can call the numbers.
It will be directly, Melissa, through the institutions themselves. I don't think
Okay.
we need PCs. Yeah, directly through the institutions.
So guys, we've run over time. So unfortunately, I have to stop it. But thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
great
Good job.
I'd like to just acknowledge, I'd like to acknowledge the team Swartz members who are not on stage, Soham Agarwal and Saurabh Petkar as well. Great job, all 5 of you. I'll be removing you from stage, and we'll be coming back shortly. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Okay.
Bye.
So, Ariman, can we take a few minutes just to now put our scores into the system?
Yes. So we'll go backstage. So thanks everyone. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.